your biggest flex today isn't your latest handbag. It's your health. Is that we only look at women when we are celebrating their pregnancies or we're regretting their cancer. I don't think there is anything in the middle. But there was no space for what seems an unsexy subject, women's health. We want to live longer, we want to look hotter, we want to grow into different lives and stages and be excited about various things and travel the world.
I like your tagline. It says, midlife isn't a crisis, it's a comeback. Let's celebrate it.
Yeah. Just recently, I have an 11-year-old boy and I was asking him, I said, a little bit of my hair has turned quite grey at the top. Should I color it? I was having a casual chat with him and he turned around and said, you tell us to be our authentic self. You and I belong to a era of journalism where we were most of the time interviewing men.
Do you prefer being known as a wellness warrior or newsroom ninja?
I would say newsroom ninja in my 20s, a wellness warrior in my 30s.
Okay.
Always looking for who is the female Ambani, the female Ratan Tata. And I'm saying don't tie in success to only women who launch rockets.
Hello and welcome to Buzz by the Bay, your weekly dose of wellness advice. I'm Anushka Jagtiani and our guest on this episode is a face you will recognize from Indian news television. She's led incisive interviews with global industry powerhouses, and at one point her daily stock market commentary was watched by lakhs of investors across India. But she gave all that up to champion women's voices through Asia's largest female network. Very pleased to welcome in the studio founder of SheThePeople, Shaili Chopra, to discuss her movement Fabulous Over 40, which challenges the taboos around women's health issues and redefines middle age. Shaili Chopra, welcome on Buzz by the Bay.
Anushka Jagtiani, so good to be with you.
What a throwback. The last time we interacted, we were in our 20s talking about stock markets, reporting on corporate India, and here we are talking about menopause wellness.
I know, standing outside the Bombay Stock Exchange to sitting into your podcast room.
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
A pleasure.
From stock markets to women's health issues. I call that evolution. Some people may say that's aging, but I say that's evolution.
Absolutely.
So, what would you tell your 20-year-old journalist self now, if there was one thing you could tell?
Oh, that's a great question. I would just say, be exactly who you are at exactly this time. I just don't look back so much as I think I would have. I have not been misty-eyed about the young Shaili in any way.
Okay.
I think journalism had its time when we were in our 20s, and it was a great time. I think we could literally be counted on fingertips for our country's viewers. It was also very ethical, quieter, less noisy, more visible.
I think the golden days of journalism.
Absolutely.
And here we are. So why menopause wellness as a topic for your latest seminar?
So I think for me, as a journalist, over the years, as I turned into an entrepreneur, I kept looking around saying that what do we don't tell? Because it's so easy to find what everyone can tell. And I think I figured that women were a very large gap in stories, and there's ample space for lipsticks, makeup, get ready with me, Sunday downers and Monday mornings. But there was no space for what seems an unsexy subject, women's health. And I think it is exactly the opposite. It is a very sexy subject.
Okay.
Because look at all of us, our world, in our homes and outside, longevity is the new buzzword.
It is.
And why would it not be important to women? We want to live longer, we want to look hotter, we want to grow into different lives and stages and be excited about various things and travel the world. And let's remind the world that if men are not hormonal, women totally are. But we need to know it so we can do something about it.
Yeah, so that was the topic. The main topic was hormonal changes, right, that women go through. So is the whole idea to remove this taboo around it?
I think we wanted to break the silence. And when I say break the silence, it basically means that, oh, if you want to talk about women's health, go into a gynecologist's cabin, have a conversation, come out and never speak a word about it, right? And my point was that why don't we just take this conversation and remind people that anybody's health at home, particularly the woman's, because she's kind of running the show on multiple counts and being a multitasker, whether or not she wants to be, is linked to her environment, her support group, her parents, her own parenting, her in-laws, what she eats, how she eats, whether she moves, she doesn't. Also, what's her workplace life? How can we think of women's health in silos? I learn from men every day when it comes to health because I like how they go after the problem, right? And one of the doctors said this on this stage. A man will not think twice. He'll get his first appointment with a doc, nutritionist, financial advisor in 1 second. Women will push it till the brink, till somebody has to carry them to the hospital. And let's change that, right? We don't deserve it.
Yeah, because women are so used to sort of nurturing others. And when do you prioritize yourself? But I was reading some interesting statistics from, the introduction to when I was reading about your movement, which is a cultural and health movement. I like it, fabulous over 40. But it says over 150 million women in India are navigating menopause and 73% without medical guidance. That's quite a staggering statistic.
Yeah, so we at Gayatri did a survey around menopause to understand what is the Indian female experience.
Yeah.
And when women pointed out that not only do they not take any guidance, they are also completely unaware of where to start. So gynecologists will say this, that it is a hormonal problem, but a gynac can't solve for it beyond a point. They can tell you your numbers. And that's pretty much it. Eventually you have to manage this life stage. I think someone said it to us the other day saying that it's a 15-year journey. And you've got to embrace it and have fun with it rather than think that it will come today and go tomorrow. And if we can try and remove the stigma around denial, then you start at least not blaming yourself.
Yeah, remove the stigma around denial. That's important. I was reading something, an interesting way to describe menopause is puberty in reverse. Basically, your hormones are withdrawing, right? So, I mean, there's nothing to be in denial about. And I saw a beautiful interview of yours with Sudha Murthy ma'am. Lovely one where you addressed, menopause and women's health issues. And I didn't realize her father was a gynecologist. And she said it's not a disease. Let's stop looking at it as a disease. It's just the withdrawal of hormones. It's something as simple as that. Now, you're still young, you look great, but as you enter your 40s, I mean, personally, what are the symptoms that bother you as hormones change? Like we know estrogen falls, progesterone, which is the calm hormone, falls. We know there's all sorts of things women go through, osteopenia, hot flashes, weight gain or muscle loss, all sorts of things, insomnia. What bothers you in your 40s?
I think I'll tell you what bothers me the most. It's not so much the hormones, but the fact that nobody conditioned me to get in control of what is going on. And I genuinely think that the complaint I have with my world today is that, listen, they told us how many marks to get in the exam. They told us how do you get into a good college, what is a good college, the best list, this, that and the other. Stay 30 under 30, 20 under 20. They kept telling us youth. I'm like, you're like, hello, I'm in my late 30s, early 40s, and women are like, okay. Are we done with our shelf life? That's what the world will tell us. And we're like, no, I feel like I'm starting again, right? I mean, every woman I know today is like, don't even date me. I'm having a blast. This is the best time of my life. I want to travel. I want to meet my friends. I go to a different coffee shop every day. The ambition for your own life and love for it is at its peak at the same time. And I think my biggest challenge is how to not dislike myself when hormones go mad. Right? And go and ask for help from whoever, the nutritionist, the dermat, the hair fall expert. I don't know, the calf strengthening expert, whatever type of experts exist. We should go and seek help. And also importantly, I'm a huge fan of supplementation. I, as a person in the last 7 years, learned this in Bombay and I continue to where I live, which is get your system to fulfill the gaps. Because our food is just a lot of nonsense these days.
Why do you think society treats women as if they have a shelf life? Nobody talks about men in their 40s and 50s as, having been past their prime. We consider them to be in their prime. at
And
that
experienced.
stage. And experienced. So why this ageism, is basically reserved for women? Why? And why aren't we changing as a society?
So, one of the things I think comes like a bit of a truck at women is that they are in their prime and onwards. They're at the top of their careers or almost there. They have children that are growing up, their demands there. Then you're the sandwich generation, you have the parents and their demands there. And then you've got a house, and then you've got to live up to a successful marriage, a successful motherhood, a successful career. I don't know, there's a lot out there to manage, right? And I think that's why having built it up so much for women, the slight bruise seems like the stack of cards is falling. And I think women feel this themselves. And the whole world around them makes them feel that, right?
Yeah. Your movement, Fabulous Over 40. I like your tagline. It says, midlife isn't a crisis, it's a comeback. Let's celebrate it.
Yeah. So, just recently, I have an 11-year-old boy, and I was asking him, I said, a little bit of my hair has turned quite grey at the top. Should I color it? I was having a casual chat with him. And he turned around and said, you tell us to be our authentic self, but you're telling me whether you should hide this.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, okay, that's not such a bad thing. At least, I have some validation from a kid who really thinks that one should, be comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah.
But it's not always easy. I think depends on where you are, how you are growing, what stage of your life are you finding yourself struggling with. And so I do say that we may feel this because we feel that we are in control a little bit of some parts of the situation, but the amount of self-doubt women have at this stage is hard. Their children are going away, their hormones are crazy, their rage is coming to them and they don't know why, there's brain fog. I just feel that just going out there and meeting yet another woman for coffee is a great starting point.
In India, or any country, I'd say, healthy women build healthy nations. I believe that, right? And when women's health is treated as a luxury, society pays the price. But when it's treated as a priority, everyone thrives. I believe that. What do you think is missing in the discussion overall on women's health over here in our country?
I love the way you put this. I think it really does hit the nail on its head. And I think the fundamental thing missing in our country today, I would say it's in general, but women in particular, is that we only look at women when we are celebrating their pregnancies or we're regretting their cancer. I don't think there is anything in the middle. And it is such a shame. Why should we have such singular ways of looking at women's health when you can prevent? Nearly 85% of cancers among women can be prevented. Yet in India, once in every few minutes, somebody is falling, prey to stage 2, 3 cancer.
Yeah.
And the other part of it is that as a population, we always save for education, definitely save a lot for marriage. That's the biggest pool of money. We don't save or spend on health. And I often say your biggest flex today isn't your latest handbag. It's your health. And if you don't do something about it, because you're going to spend $2,000 today to save yourself a 2 lakh surgery, if not a 20 lakh surgery. And why get to that stage if you don't start investing in preventative health?
But how can we create more awareness? Like how can, let's say the media, what role can the media play? And what role can sort of health tech play to create more awareness about women's health issues?
So I think we have a great opportunity in technology. I think today AI is creating a very, very different approach to things. And I'll tell you why. There are, of course, I don't recommend everybody Googling a question and getting disappointed with the answers they get or chat GPTing them. But for example, at Gayatri, we've got an AI bot called the Gayatri Guide. What does that do? It takes only verified doctor information, which we have provided by vetting with the doctors, and then guides women on what are baseline information on, let's say, menopause and midlife, right?
Okay.
What is midlife? What are the hormones that matter? What is the breakdown of any protein? How do I know that B12 is required and B6 is not? Or will ashwagandha support protein? Is that a good idea? I think it kind of gets very, very nuanced if you go deep into a subject. And I'm a fan of depth.
So Gayatri is your health tech platform.
Yes, and it's targeted at thriving your midlife.
Thriving your midlife,
Yeah.
specifically.
Yes. So, I mean, I'm not really working towards teen health there at this stage. I'm focused on what do women need in midlife. You know, they need their B12s. India is a huge iron deficient market. We need to create both a dialogue as well as offer solutions in, you know, like for example, we launched India's first menopause protein for women above 40.
Oh, wow.
Now, people say, why can't I have any protein? Of course, you can have any protein. But any protein doesn't solve for issues that are allied to your life in midlife or with your hormonal changes.
So when you say you launched it, it's manufactured by Gayatri.
So we are essentially a D2C brand that has AI and human health coaches to guide you. And yes, it is our own brand and our own protein blends and our vitamins and gummies and capsules. Everything plant-based, 100% natural, no pharmaceutical in it. But most importantly, you know, more than the product is how we have evaluated on female bodies. So we've sort of become the first brand to actually check every product on a large number of women and thousands before we took it to market.
So you're totally immersed in this sector. Wow. Through Gayatri, through SheThePeople, you're fabulous over 40. You're totally into this. I mean,
It's
quite a
my
dramatic
mission.
shift in your life. So what made you take that? You set up SheThePeople in 2015?
Yes.
So what made you take that shift? And here you were interviewing, you know, Warren Buffett and Indra Nooyi and all these sorts of people, you know, the top people in Indian industry, Ambani's and this, what have you. And then what made you make that shift?
I think really the fact that you and I belong to a era of journalism where we were most of the time interviewing men, right? Big companies, rich men, rich CEOs. I mean, kudos for them to have created that. But there's got to be stories of women. And you ask yourself that what can I do to remove this invisibilization of women in India? And I think it made me cry because I literally saw nobody, with the exception of 4 or 5 female bankers, all of who belong to one era. And I felt like we needed to go out there and use media, which is such a powerful tool.
Yeah.
The other thing I always feel is like, you know, in India with so many people, we're always looking for who is the female Ambani, the female Ratan Tata. And I'm saying don't tie in success to only women who launch rockets. We are regular women. Why is our story not important? Why do I have to be a rocket launcher to be somebody who's called a woman of worth? We're all women of worth.
Yeah.
And I think that was the whole idea, honestly. And I have to say this to you and to your audience. I was backed by men all through.
Anand Mahindra back.
Anand Mahindra was my pillar, is my pillar. We may not speak too often, but whenever we do, I can hear him say things that just change the course of how I'm thinking. Nitin Kamath, you know, who's backed Gayatri, as is Kiran Majumdar show. But I do find they're not just patient; they see the passion to bring alive the second half of our world.
I want to ask you one last question before going on to a rapid fire about beauty standards. You know, this is a very important topic, I feel, because beauty standards have not changed. We're in 2025. We still have the same beauty standards. They continue to define our self-worth. Often when someone tells you, oh, you look good for your age, you know, it's actually a bit of a backhanded compliment. You know, it's like, why can't, if a woman is 55, why can't she look 55 and still look good? Why do you have to tell her you look young for her to make her feel that she looks good?
Yeah.
I mean, why aren't beauty standards changing?
I read something which was so powerful that I actually paused for a minute. It said that what if one morning women decide not to fall for these beauty standards? How many industries in the world will go out of business? It's just insane. The numbers are incalculable. You know, we've gone from just cold cream standards to 10-step skincare routines for which you literally need to have a checklist because you'll forget what came first, what came second, what will come later.
Yeah.
And it's all in order to pander to what is called beauty. There's so much talk about fairness still. I mean, 2025, we're talking about fair skin. It's almost, it's nauseating that we're having these conversations, right? But they exist. Anushka, I'm sure you'll hear people, like I was told when I was pretty young, your nose is way too long. Or somebody would say, your teeth are crooked. Oh my God, don't do this, don't do that. I'm not even going in this chai will make you kala conversation, because even now people do this, right? And I am raising a daughter, and I'm constantly aware that in her school bus there is a conversation about her having long hair, and I'm saying, just chop your hair off, it's so hot. She's like, no, I want to look like a girl. So I'm just saying the beauty standards are so inherent in our world, because we are constantly seeing this being as the tick mark or the validation of what will be called you're halfway there. I think it's a hard one for us, and it'll be hard because women are themselves torn about looking the way they want to, or I mean, there's nothing wrong with wanting to look different with makeup, I suppose.
Yeah, nothing wrong with wanting to look your best and wanting to look feminine and wanting to look glamorous, but it can't be just one standard of beauty, which is fair and thin, and there's got to be a variety. There has to be a diversity within
we're doing this show in the aftermath of a huge lawsuit report on Ozempic.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about, this obsession with fat loss. And I know this in India from both men to women. They're just huddling up and like consuming stuff in different kinds of forms and shape to go on a fast track weight loss challenge. Just somehow it seems unnatural, right? It's like you're chucking your body a meteor that you have no idea what kind of crater it's going to leave.
True. Very well said. Chucking your body a meteor. But coming to a rapid fire round, okay? Do you prefer being known as a wellness warrior or newsroom ninja?
Oh, I was a newsroom ninja in my 20s, a wellness warrior in my 30s.
Okay. What would you choose? Breaking taboos or breaking news?
Oh, Anushka, these are hard ones. Right now, breaking taboos, but that said, I think women breaking news back in the day was also breaking taboos.
Yeah, it was actually. Right, well said. What is one morning ritual you can't live without?
I wake up at 5 and take 1 hour of reading with my cup of tea, and the world is asleep at that time.
Wow, I thought you were going to talk about some like collagen cream or hyaluronic acid or something, but that's a best morning ritual. Waking up, reading, having your tea. I mean, that's what keeps you healthy and bright all day. I think reading is great. Botox or aging naturally?
Oh, I'm not decided yet.
You haven't decided yet?
No, I wouldn't let the cat out of the bag. I'm not sure. What if I want Botox? I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not judging anybody, or myself in the future. Let's see how it goes.
We can't vilify, Botox.
I don't mind lifting a bit of skin to lift spirits if required at whichever stage of life. So honestly, it depends on how it goes.
Yeah, you got to remove the stigma around that, right? If someone wants it, that's fine.
I'm pro-choice. Let's put
pro-choice. Good way of putting it. Confidence or perfection? What's more important?
Definitely confidence.
Confidence.
Yeah. And I'm quite happy with the imperfection that comes with some confidence. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, imperfections.
What's that saying, right? If you want to make trouble, make it big.
If you had to choose sleep or skincare, what would it be? Sleep. Good choice. Yoga or cardio? Cardio. Okay.
I need pace and workouts so far.
Yeah. Who is the most inspiring woman you have interviewed?
I don't know. I think there are many. But I would literally say the person who helped me start SheThePeople was a woman who was my neighbor.
Oh.
And she was very aware and uncomfortable with her weight. She was a saleswoman in a stock market company, and she had to move with her little girl from Calcutta to Bombay to build the world as a single mom. And I looked at her every morning and said, if she can do anything to get this life going, so can we. I honestly think that's the story of every woman who's made it on the newspaper headlines or those who haven't.
What is the one thing you wish men knew about menopause?
That they have it too.
Yes, male menopause. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah.
What's the most fabulous thing about being over 40?
That it's your time.
It's your time. Okay. One thing you can get away with now that you couldn't in your 20s.
Oh. Actually, I don't know how to say this on the camera, but yeah, I just care a hoots. I will say it if it comes to me. And I think that's why I say I'd never want to be 20 again. I was scared.
You were scared.
I'm fearless.
Fearless in your 40s. Okay, that is wonderful. That's a great way. That's a great note to end on. Shaili Chopra,
Thank
fearless in her 40s. Wonderful to talk to you.
Thanks, Anushka. So lovely to see you again and be
Yeah.
on your show.
Thank you.